Go to sleep. Let's have fun, relax, and drift off to dreamland together. Don't forget to subscribe and join me on the sleepy adventure.
Once upon a time, in a magical forest filled with talking animals and enchanted creatures, there lived a mischievous and clever crow named Oliver. Oliver was not an ordinary crow. He had a reputation for being the smartest bird in the entire forest, but he also had a rather peculiar habit. He loved collecting shiny objects. His nest was adorned with all sorts of treasures he had gathered over the years, sparkling gems, shiny trinkets, and even a tiny golden crown. One sunny morning, as Oliver was flying over the forest, he felt an intense heat and a growing thirst. He realized that he had been flying for hours without finding any water source. The sun was scorching and his throat was parched. He desperately needed a drink to quench his thirst. Oliver flew lower, searching for a stream or a pond. Finally, he spotted a clearing with a beautiful pond glistening in the sunlight. He swooped down with excitement, but as he reached the edge of the pond, he realized that the water level was too low for him to drink from. "Oh no," Oliver groaned, his disappointment evident. "I'm so thirsty and the water is just out of my reach." As Oliver looked around, he noticed a large pitcher lying nearby. The pitcher was almost empty, with just a few drops of water left at the bottom. Oliver's eyes sparkled with an idea. He hopped over to the pitcher and peered inside. "I can't reach the water directly," Oliver mused, "but I can definitely do something about it." With determination, Oliver picked up small pebbles and began dropping them into the pitcher one by one. As the pebbles fell in, the water level started rising. Oliver's heart raced with anticipation as he continued dropping pebble after pebble. After a while, the water had risen high enough for Oliver to take a sip. He eagerly leaned over the edge of the pitcher and drank to his heart's content. The cool water soothed his parched throat and he felt rejuvenated. "I did it," Oliver exclaimed proudly. "I used my clever thinking to solve my problem." Just as he was about to fly away, a voice from behind him startled him. "Well, well, well, what do we have here?" Oliver turned around to find a wise old owl perched on a nearby branch. The owl's eyes twinkled with admiration. "You truly are a remarkable crow, young Oliver," the owl said. "Using your wit to quench your thirst, that's quite an accomplishment." Oliver blushed with pride. "Thank you, wise owl. I learned that even in the trickiest of situations, a little creativity and determination can go a long way." The owl nodded in agreement. "Indeed, my young friend. And remember, it's not just about finding solutions. It's about believing in yourself and embracing your unique abilities." Oliver grinned from beak to beak. From that day on, he was not only known as the smartest crow, but also as the crow who outwitted thirst itself. He continued to explore the magical forest, sharing his stories of adventure and wisdom with all the animals, teaching them the value of clever thinking and determination. So, Oliver the Thirsty Crow had become a legend in the magical forest for his cleverness and determination. As the seasons changed and time passed, his story continued to spread far and wide, even beyond the enchanted woods. One day, as Oliver was perched on a branch, basking in the warm glow of the setting sun, he noticed a group of curious young birds approaching him. They chirped excitedly, "Are you the famous Oliver, the thirsty crow?" Oliver chuckled and nodded. "Yes, that's me. And who might you be, little ones?" The young birds introduced themselves as Mia, Max, and Milo. They had heard the legendary tale of Oliver's ingenious solution to quench his thirst, and they were eager to learn from his wisdom. "Oliver," Mia chirped, "we want to be as clever and resourceful as you. Can you teach us how to think creatively and solve problems?" Oliver's heart swelled with pride. He was thrilled to have eager learners before him. "Of course, my dear friends. Let me share with you some lessons I've learned through my adventures. And so, under the golden hues of the twilight sky, Oliver began sharing stories of his escapades, each one filled with challenges that required clever thinking to overcome. He told them about the time he outsmarted a mischievous squirrel to retrieve his shiny treasures, and the time he befriended a shy rabbit who needed help finding her way back home. As the moon rose high above the forest, Oliver's stories inspired the young birds to think beyond the obvious and tap into their own creativity. He taught them that every problem had multiple solutions, and sometimes it was the most unexpected idea that held the key. Days turned into weeks, and Mia, Max, and Milo became skilled problem solvers themselves. They eagerly shared their own stories of using clever thinking to overcome challenges, just like Oliver had taught them. The enchanted forest buzzed with the sound of laughter and tales of adventure. One evening, as the stars twinkled in the night sky, Oliver gathered all the forest animals for a grand storytelling event. Mia, Max, and Milo took turns sharing their own stories, showcasing their newfound creativity and wisdom. The animals applauded and cheered, impressed by the young bird's growth. Oliver stood before the audience, a proud smile on his beak. "My dear friends," he announced, "remember that the power of imagination and determination resides within each of you. Just like a thirsty crow turned pebbles into a solution, you can turn your dreams into reality." The animals of the forest cheered and chirped in agreement, inspired by the stories they had heard. From that day on, the enchanted forest became a hub of learning and creativity, as animals of all kinds shared their tales and celebrated their unique abilities. And so the legend of Oliver the Thirsty Crow evolved into a legacy of shared wisdom, reminding everyone that within each challenge lies an opportunity for growth and innovation. The forest continued to flourish with stories that captured the hearts and imaginations of all who heard them. Now, my dear listeners, the tale of Oliver and his legacy serves as a reminder to us all that even in the face of adversity, a little bit of imagination and a whole lot of determination can turn the ordinary into the extraordinary.
Thanks for joining me tonight. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more magical bedtime tales. Wishing you sweet dreams. See you in the next storytime adventure. Good night.